Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand. You've landed, cleared customs, and you're finally looking out at the snow-capped mountains and rolling green hills. You likely know that English is the primary language here, but within your first few hours, you'll probably hear words and phrases that sound entirely new. If you find yourself double-checking what a local just said, don't worry. Almost every new arrival goes through it. The first phrase you should learn is kia ora. It's a universal greeting used by everyone, and it comes from Te Reo Māori, an official language of New Zealand that is woven into daily life across the country. Everyday English in New Zealand follows its own local patterns. Learning these variations is a big part of the travel experience, so treat each new word as a small discovery rather than a hurdle. Getting a handle on these foundational phrases early on is an easy way to replace that initial tourist anxiety with a bit more confidence. You'll quickly notice that even familiar words can sound different due to the Kiwi accent. For example, if you're ordering breakfast, you might hear avocado instead of avocado, or more likely they'll just shorten it to avo. When you need to pick up daily essentials or a quick snack, you won't look for a convenience store. You'll be looking for a dairy. A dairy is a local neighborhood institution. It's the place for milk, a newspaper, or a hot meat pie when you're in a hurry. Recognizing the dairy on your corner is one of the first steps to establishing a predictable daily routine in your new neighborhood. By the afternoon, you will likely need to visit a major supermarket like Countdown, New World, or Pak'nSave. Before you head inside, grab a trolley from the bay. That's the local term for your shopping cart. Once in the produce section, look for capsicums. In New Zealand, that's the only name used for red, yellow, or green bell peppers. You'll also see bins full of kumara. This local sweet potato is a staple of the New Zealand diet, with deep historical roots. Using these local names makes it much easier to find what you need on the shelves and ensures you can follow along with any local recipes you want to try. The checkout lane is where you'll interact most with staff. Kiwis are conversational, so don't be surprised if they ask, "How's it going today?" Because single-use plastic bags are banned, the first thing they'll ask is if you brought your own eco bags. If you didn't, you can usually buy heavy-duty reusable ones right there. They'll ask for your club card or one card, which major supermarkets use to unlock discounted shelf prices. When paying, they'll ask, "Is that on card?" This standard phrase checks if you're using EFTPS or credit instead of cash. If you don't need a printed receipt, a simple "No, you're right, thanks" is the most common and polite way to decline. Successfully navigating the checkout with these local phrases is a small but satisfying win that makes your next shopping trip feel much more familiar. In the evening, you might find yourself invited to a barbie or barbecue. Social life often revolves around the grill, where you'll usually find snags, the local word for sausages. If you're asked to grab a cold drink, head for the chili bin. That's what everyone here calls a portable cooler. Outdoor gatherings are a staple of New Zealand culture. Knowing these terms helps you feel less like an observer and more like a participant in the local social scene. As the night winds down, you'll likely hear the phrase "sweet as." It's a versatile affirmation that can mean anything from "that's great" to "thank you." If you thank someone, they'll probably respond with a relaxed "no worries," which is the standard Kiwi way of saying "all good." Eventually, you'll hear people talk about their whānau. While it's the Maori word for family, it is often extended to include close friends and the wider community. Making the effort to learn and use these specific words shows a respect for the local way of life. It's a simple, effective way to begin your transition from a newcomer to a true member of the community.